Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hearthstone. So the only thing we need left to do is play 20 taunt minions. Easiest way to do that is come over here and find the shields up deck, delete it, and then you just need to figure out who has the most taunt cards. Well then, who do I want to play as? It's like, I don't want to play as mage, I don't want to play as paladin, I don't want to play as priest, I don't want to play as shaman, I don't want to play as the shield warrior. So this is going to be a druid deck. There we go, druid has most things. Let's choose a custom. Now we just start putting anything that has taunt by default. But I also don't want the choose one things, so I might actually get away from that. Let's instead play a lot of this. In theory, anything that has just taunt should be fine, but I don't want to pick things that I think that's good. I think that's all we kind of need to do, so let's play this, and then custom druid should be down here, and play. And so this might just be a short recording in all senses because now I've got a bunch of really cheap taunt cards here to play. And
Malfurion versus Jaina.
So Battlefield 1 has outsold Battlefield 4 and Battlefield Hardline combined. That's new news that I got actually in between last recording and this one, because I went and checked my Twitter feed. So now I have two things to talk about, which, okay, that's good news.
You shall not pass.
I guess people are liking Battlefield 1.
My greetings.
Would I ever come and play it? No, it's too much multiplayer stuff. And frankly, what coverage do people really need there? I'm not sure anybody does need coverage there. You know what Battlefield is, probably. It's a multiplayer first-person shooter game. I would be more interested in playing Titanfall if Titanfall comes to Steam. That is a game that's not really on the list of something I'd want to play immediately, and I'm talking about Titanfall 2 here. But it does have an interesting idea.
Well played.
So, yeah, it's probably on the list somewhere. I might get to it 6 months to a year after it comes out. Maybe when Titanfall 3 comes out. It suffers some problems for it's going to come out as a full price game, and it's not going to be one of those full price games that I'm super interested in covering at the very beginning.
Job done.
And so that it has that problem. It also has a multiplayer problem where if I play it, I'm not going to really play any of the multiplayer. I'm just going to play the 5 hours of the single player mode, and then that's the only news that I'll get out of the game, which again is not something it's not the best investment of money, so probably we'll do it eventually. I guess this one is fine. We'll do this way.
What
This
you
way.
want?
And this way.
Ever. Yeah.
And then attack. So, yeah, I'd probably do I've got so many other games though. The problem is not games right now. I do need to continue collecting games to a small extent, but the AAA games, most of them have been already collected, the ones that are on Steam. I don't want to go into other systems. Obviously, I want to go into good old games or anything like that. But mostly, you just need more time. Need more time, more energy.
For the wild.
It's weird. I actually need a more comfortable chair. I was timing it as I was doing Lego yesterday, as my macro was running on my computer, updating videos. I literally, after sitting anywhere for an hour, my buttocks hurts.
For the wild.
And then after about 2 hours, it's too much. It's really in pain. And about after 2.5 hours, it's like I gotta get up. I've started, after recording 2 hours of footage, I will just stand up and move to a different, to sit on the edge of my foam mattress bed that I recently had to purchase. Unfortunately, everything's been breaking lately in my life. The part of the problem is everything I have is pretty nice. So it's kind of like having a nice car. When something breaks, it's expensive to keep it working. When my server breaks, it is going to be at least $100 to fix something if it's an actual physical hardware thing. And being a server, it is probably going to be a hardware thing more than a software thing.
For the wild.
And when I start to value my time at anything, the amount of time spent on something also becomes an issue.
Job done.
So yeah, when bad things happen, they tend to pile on, or at least it always feels like that. Maybe it's not the truth, but so yeah, that's a problem too. And so yeah, I need more time. I need another cushion to sit on. I don't know how to improve that, but it's becoming a bigger issue. I wish I knew why it was becoming an issue. It doesn't seem like just a standard I'm getting older and less healthy thing. It seems like, oh man, there's probably something wrong with me. Really bad. Humans aren't designed to sit in chairs this much. I know when I had a job where I was sitting in a chair for 8 hours a day, I would lean back like crazy, and there was a place on the desk where you put your foot up, and I was almost completely lying flat at some points, and they didn't like that certainly, but I really didn't care. So I imagine that was rather uncomfortable too, but I just don't remember it. Here we are. Speaking of uncomfortable, and speaking of not wanting to go to other systems like Origin or Uplay, and speaking of, I believe, EA, because they make Battlefield 1, EA, the US government, has told them to block anyone in Myanmar. Now, I'm not up on politics enough to know what's going on in Myanmar with the US government and such. And frankly, I kind of don't even
For the
care.
wild.
But obviously something has gone on. And when you combine this with a story I saw that wasn't really video game related, where Apple was refusing to refund the guy for returning an iPhone because his last name was Hussein. He was an Egyptian guy. A lot of Egyptian guys with the last name Hussein, or Middle Eastern people with the last name Hussein. But it was spelled completely different from Saddam Hussein. His first name was nothing close to Saddam Hussein, and somehow they sent him a message going, your name popped up on this list of people we can't do business with. So you have to prove to us that you're not Saddam Hussein, who, by the way, all legitimate people say was hung to death years ago. Now prove to us that you're not Saddam Hussein if you want your money back. It sounds ridiculous. It's completely insane.
For the wild.
Apparently they do. So I'm starting to wonder if the U.S. government is putting more pressure on companies to not do business with people that they say you can't do business with. Which this is kind of economic warfare and economic propaganda going on. But anyways, Electronic Arts, because the U.S. government told them, has blocked anyone from accessing or playing any Origin-based games, or games with Origin in them, or games on the Origin website. I would assume all of those are true. Anybody in Myanmar can't play that, according to this guy on Reddit. That's the source here, is it's according to a guy on Reddit. Which I don't see a real reason why that would this may turn out to be a complete false story, but if it really was a complete false story, EA didn't get back to people quickly on this at all. It is the weekend of Halloween, sure, maybe that would explain it, but
Are you ready for this?
it's not that hard to say yes, this is true, the government forced us to do that, and put all the blame on the government, which is probably what they're going to do. Or to say, no, this isn't true. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to play something like that. And then I assume that the next comments on any post like that is, well, why don't you just VPN into a different location and then it will work. And maybe that is part of the issue too of the solution there. There's a lot of countries in general that if you're in the United States, if you're in the Western world in general, you're never gonna realize just how many countries don't have internet, have slow internet, have metered internet, or are blocked by either an outside government or their own government from accessing a lot of things.
I suppose. Autograph?
Here, in my case, the things that I seem to accidentally block myself from, or maybe it's just something else, I can't click on or find Steam Greenlight links anymore. And I think I set that up as a setting myself. So when I type in a name of the game with that Steam Greenlight, it won't come up in my Steam browser, but it will come up. Somebody just sends me a link on the in the regular internet browser. So I think I've done that. And that's my biggest issue here, is my own stupid self-censorship, and I kind of want to keep it that way. Speaking of keeping that way, I guess we'll just play one more game, and then we're going to be done. It's only been 13 minutes. It would be funny if I actually could win with any of these decks. And remember, Hearthstone deck tracker is now running so well that I didn't have to do any kind of import or anything. And
Your soul shall be mine. I must protect the wild.
Made any mistakes at all, I can't tell. So, like, perfect auto importing, don't have to hit any buttons or anything by default now on Hearthstone deck tracker. I need to make a new video on Hearthstone deck tracker at some point and just go, look, now if you need the help, it's probably beyond you. You're never going to get it to work because it's so simple now. Hearthstone deck tracker, however, does have still a problem where some of the updates don't work. So I have about 4 or 5 times in the past 6 months had to download the new version and just copy the zip file contents into the install file locations. Of course, that could be the reason why it isn't working, but whatever. I think he runs into a problem. or whoever created it, runs into problems where the Hearthstone deck tracker update program can't update itself, and needs to figure out a way to fix that. It's not that hard. You just go
My greetings.
on the first when you run Hearthstone deck tracker, look for something called Hearthstone deck tracker updater new, and then you rename that new into the old, and then you run it. Simple single line of code. And so at that, we're done with things to talk about. Honestly, I prefer to run my macro right now instead of record Skyrim, but I need more Skyrim footage. It's going out as soon as possible, so I need more Skyrim footage. I also need not to fall out of actually recording that stuff. Plus, there are some long-running implications here as we're trying to like the next Lego game and the next things that we know are gonna get content on Indeed. That could be the only thing that might actually be good about the potential merger of Time Warner with AT&T is that it might very well change the landscape of the content. I seriously doubt it will.
For the wild.
And then other things need to get recorded eventually too. Skyrim also has pushed some things out of the wrong way, so like Regency Soldier, I think I talked about it airing in November, and now it's not going to air in November unless I push it to 2017 November, which would be ridiculous. I need to get the footage closer together than that. I can't have something air the next year. Not until I have things scheduled and ready to record for a year in advance. Which wouldn't be a terrible idea. It really wouldn't. I, on rare occasions, toy with the idea of going and working some other job because it's starting to feel like that might be more of a possibility than it used to, but it doesn't really work. It's still not really a possibility, first of all. And second of all, it just puts me working on for somebody else that I wouldn't be happy with when I'm still very happy doing this. I'm still certainly kind of not upset about not happy with the amount of money I'm getting. I'm certainly running 60-70% a week, but I am up to 100 subscribers. We've almost certainly lost 150,000 mark, and we're very, very close to it. So progress has been made. If in 2017 that got from 100 subscribers to 10,000 subscribers, that would be very nice. I think if I had 10,000 subscribers on my channel, videos got like 1,000 views each, I think that's when you start to see real progress and more promotion and things just kind of working the way they should.
For the wild.
Alright. I'm gonna hit this guy.
Job's done.
That's gonna kill all those guys. And then the charge. With the new end screen, I'm hoping for some great improvement, particularly since all my old videos are going to have old end screens. I'm hoping that this makes more retention on videos, but I'm not sure how much it really will, because if you compare it to like the average video retention, which is up, people on average only watch my videos for 3 minutes. So I don't make 3-minute videos. That is a full mission that nobody makes it to the end of my recordings. I'm also giving so many opportunities now to subscribe and stuff, which is somewhat problematic. If I had an artist that would do a new watermark logo, I would change that from the subscribe button I have now, but that subscribe button obviously has worked. More people have subscribed faster since I've gotten that on there. But my initial videos, I have a featured video that shows up at the beginning of videos down here. You've probably seen it. And that's on the latest playlist. And then at the end, there is a custom suggested video for you, the subscribe button in the middle, and the latest playlist. So the only thing I could do that would be efficient is to go change it from the latest playlist to some custom other video. So like the most watched or most viewed or something like that. Should I have more loyalty to the latest videos, or should I try to get more variety? Well, I think I need to get more variety there. Just make different offers. Different offers at different times. You could have had 4 things at the end screen, but frankly,
my shield for
too many options really have scientifically been proven to confuse people, and they're less likely to click. So that's why College Humor, they used to do like 4. I believe College Humor used to do like 4, and then they cut it down to 2. And I'm still kind of at 2. It's just there's also a subscribe button in the middle. So technically still at 3. We're at about 23 minutes, and this is where we're just gonna end it, I think. Here, there's nothing more to talk about. I have other work to do. Wonder when I'll ever get done with time clickers. The problem with time clickers is it seems like you're almost there, but you're not really all there. Like the next video I'm gonna make is gonna be a year later, and I'll have probably all the achievements done, but still not be anywhere close to filling in all the upgrades. And even though I'm not really close to filling in all the upgrades, I still feel like I'm probably a lot further along than 99.9% of the players of the game, because obviously people aren't going to play it for 7,000 hours like me. And I haven't been that loyal to any of the other because they take more management. My initial thought of preferring to play Sakura Clicker is still true. If I was going to play a game that was a clicker game, which I'm not, I would prefer to play Sakura Clicker and look at animated girls versus looking at colorful cubes and time clickers, or just colorful creatures and clicker heroes, or whatever the other one was called. Tap Tap Revolution or something, I think is the name of that one. Anyways, we got all the quests done, we got more gold, and we're good to go. There's nothing new here, right? Nope. I think I've already missed the opportunity to get that free character from Amazon Twitch Prime cross promotion, which is fine. If they had offered an actual pack or two every month, then I would have pursued it more. But just getting a $10 thing, $10 worth of packs would have been a lot better, actually, a lot more realistic. And let's see, we do have a couple of cards here. Let's see what these new cards are. I bet they're both just gold cards. Yeah, we have this gold here that's an uncraftable, and I bet this is an uncraftable gold card too, because I just leveled up some characters. Yep, gold, uncraftable. I wish there was a way to know how many cards you actually have in your collection. We could certainly go into crafting mode though. It's crafting, and we are go to all cards, and then we could see how we are doing as far as our progress. Is definitely cards that only have one, and then a bunch of regular cards. Here's a Goblins vs. Gnomes 400 dust card for wild. This is probably all going to be Goblins vs. Gnomes. Well, that's Grand Tournament, and that's Goblins vs. Gnomes. So let's just get a general idea of how many cards are left until we have one of everything. It's still a decent amount. And it's only going to be made worse with the next expansion. Paladins are missing a decent amount of cards. Priest is missing about 3, and then that makes it 7. Let's see. Rogue is missing about 7. 1 shaman card, 3 shaman cards, 4, 8, 9 shaman cards missing. I don't know when I'd ever really get enough dust to make great progress here. It feels like very possibly in a year's time we will still be at the same level. I mostly have all of the neutral cards though. There's one we're missing. That's the reward card for 400 dust. And I don't think I particularly want to get this. But maybe I do. I think there's a pirate character that's a legend. If I get the pirate character that's a legend, I believe I get that reward card too. And then there's just all these 1600 dusts. And unless I start opening packs and getting legendaries like crazy, that doesn't feel like something that's gonna happen. I'm not gonna make that significant amount of progress. Here's another one, Goblins vs. Gnomes for 400. Maybe if I go back to arena runs though. There is almost room in this recording session to do an arena run. And the money isn't really an issue. Currently as it's sitting. I would prefer to get up to 10,000 though. It's more a matter of time. Like if I did an arena run, that's just 30 minutes away from recording another Skyrim episode, and that's not the right use of my time, obviously. Because I need Skyrim. I literally need Skyrim episodes for next week. Like I have I have 2 days of footage, and if I don't have them uploaded and scheduled and ready to go, that's gonna be just a terrible mistake. And I got 29 views on that first video, so I'm hoping people will want to stick with it and actually watch more. I know there's somewhat of a thriving community of people that play Skyrim even before the special edition came out, so I'm hoping to tap into that a little bit, but it's certainly not going to be my new career or anything like that. Well, we stretched there. Actually, it doesn't look as bad as I thought it was, as far as my collection. Which, then it questions, what happens when I get all the cards and still can't win? Then I have no excuse. I'm just a bad Hearthstone player, which, let's face it, I probably am. Like, if I have every single card, at that point, I guess I do have to look at the meta decks. I do have to say, look, I'm gonna just play like everybody else and see how high I can get, because there's no reason to play any different way. I would think. Maybe I'd have to think about it. Anywho, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.